The Great Pyramids of Egypt have confused humans for hundreds of years. Everyone thinks they know how they were constructed, but in reality nobody actually knows, and we probably will never know. But I will go over some of the most plausible theories. This is a short video covering some of the theories. I will have other videos diving deeper into each of these theories. Starting off first is that ramps were built along the pyramids, and the workers who built the pyramids would haul up 2.5 tons of each brick and simply pull it up the ramps on wet sand and logs, which allows less friction. This raises some questions about transportation. The bricks were over 2.5 tons and placed with such precision not even a credit card can go through. How can men haul 5,000 pounds of solid brick up a ramp at an incline of at least 15 degrees? The shear force is unimaginable because of the angle of the ramp and the sheer weight. These ramps could be a spiral around the pyramid or a zigzag leading up to the pyramid. Hieroglyphics have also shown that it took 172 men to haul a 60-ton block. A study in 1996 proved that 18 men could haul a 2-ton block 8 meters per minute, so this theory is probably the most plausible of them all until recently. However, this is the theory most of us were taught in school. Another theory is that the Egyptians used cattle to haul the blocks, which would be much more energy efficient compared to using manpower. This would also allow the Egyptians to use the same methods of movement with logs and wet sand, all while using less men and fewer cattle. Another theory is that as the pyramids were built with levels, the blocks would have been lifted from one level to the next. A wooden crane with a counterweight would have been used to hoist them up. A problem with this idea is that it is thought that the Egyptians didn't have available trees strong enough to lift up blocks this heavy. It has also been suggested that pulleys could have been used to hoist the blocks up the ramps and fulcrums to manipulate the blocks into place. While it is not known if the Egyptians used this system for the pyramids, they did seem to use it for ships at the time. However, advanced pulleys may not have been invented until Roman times. Another theory stems from ancient Egyptian tradition of the pharaohs chanting and moving the blocks with their chanting and voice and energy. Even 100 years ago, Nikola Tesla was obsessed with this theory, and the everyday application could change our lives forever. However, some of his key theories and work have been taken by the US government back in the early 1900s because of military use and threats to the safety of the American people. We are looking at technology different from ours. Their technology is not going to be like ours. We need to be open to other sorts of technological use. Tesla believed that the ancient Egyptians used plasmoids to build the pyramids. Plasmoids are donut-shaped clusters of net protons or net electrons that, once captured and placed into a toroidal orbit, are capable of absorbing, storing, and releasing enormous amounts of energy present within their self-generated and structured electromagnetic containment field. Plasmoids, in effect, function as an atomic battery that can be self-charging due to the ability to convert matter to available clean energy. Plasmoids, by their unique geometry, cause a consequential electromagnetic containment field to generate a zero point naturally and casually, without much effort. Have the ability to convert the nuclear into energy. It is essentially a generator that is purely based on geometry and atoms. This creates a great vibration that can be controlled, and once you find the perfect vibration frequency, you can control and manipulate objects and be able to move them where you want. This, however, is not a proven theory like other theories. It is very hard to visualize and conceptualize. I will go into more detail in a later video. One more recent theory: Jean-Pierre Houdin believes the Great Pyramid was constructed with the use of two separate spiral ramps. The first one was an outer spiral ramp ascending about 30% of the way up, and the second was an internal spiral ramp through which the heavy stones were dragged the rest of the way to the top. Houdin calculated that this internal ramp had a slope of 7 degrees. This spiral ramp also included open sections on the corners for the workers to turn the blocks. This is where it is thought that cranes were used in addition to the internal ramp. Hodin has also been able to explain how the king's chamber was built as well as the most mysterious room within the Great Pyramid, the Grand Gallery. The massive granite blocks above the king's chamber were pulled up through the Grand Gallery with a long pulley system. Thus, the Grand Gallery exists for a practical purpose. Inside are signs that support this theory, such as holes that have been wedged into the rocks. They are believed to have been used to support the pulley system. Howden's theory has a lot going for it. Using digital technology, a team of computer programmers was able to test the idea. They have been able to confirm that Howden's blueprints for the pyramid measure up mathematically and that the internal ramp is plausible. Most astonishing, however, is that they were able to find evidence for the actual existence of a ramp using a low-density scan of the pyramid, which revealed a spiral-shaped image. This could very well be the remains of an internal ramp. By far, this theory gives us the most plausible explanation for how the pyramids were built. Those were a few theories on how the pyramids were built. As requested, I will go into a deeper dive into each theory later. Be ready for that video in the coming weeks.